So today we're going to talk about wet into wet technique to paint a leaf. And the paper I'm using is Paul Rubin. I put the link in the descriptions. It's a cold press watercolor paper. Let's think about where I'm going to put the leaf. So I use my 2 finger. I'm going to put it up like this. And think about I'm going to make sure I have enough for the stem, right? And also I'm going to add the catch the shadow underneath over here. So it looks like it should be over here, right? So I'm going to use this calligraphy brush. Use a very light color, so I do the drawing. You can use pencil to draw, which is most people may prefer. So I'm going to looking at, okay, good. Now the tip on the top over here would be here, right? And the bottom, and it would be in this location, and then it would be the stem, and then have catch the shadow underneath. So basically, with a very simple marks, and you already know the location of that leaf, right? Like this. So you can use whatever you feel comfortable. And I know that I'm going to put the light blue-gray color over here after the leaves finish. So that's the planning. You need to spend some time plan it in your head, plan it in your mind, so easier. I'm going to use a little bit smaller brush. There's a number 12 round brush. Now I'm going to use wet into wet. That means I'm going to use quite a bit of water. So I'm going to start with the yellow color. I'm going to take lots of yellow color. When you use wet into wet, you have to have a lot of enough water, right? So I'm going to start over here. Just put the yellow color right over here. Probably not even enough water. So I'm going to, and the pink is going to start getting dry. So you need to put the enough, and then, and also some highlight. I would also going to use the lifting to get that. So now the color get a little bit darker and change. So I can see that a little blue color here. So I see the blue color here. I'm going to take a little blue color. See that? And then look like a green already, right? Like this. I'm going to also do a little bit faster. And this side is brown. So I'm going to put the brown color over here, touching the wet color. It would merge together. That's the idea. Okay. Now coming over here, on this side, I'm going to come back a little bit more yellow. But not just yellow, because it's darker color than that. So I also want to take a little bit of the brown color I already have there. Okay, coming over here. And also going to leave a little gap. Okay, coming here. So look and pink. I'm going to get a little bit red color in here. In your mind, in your observation, everything is all about the 3 primary colors. I'm going to come over here, and I'll come all the way here in similar color. Now I'm going to change it, have a little bit more blue colors. You see that? Have a little bit more blue color so that the color will look a little bit more as green, right? I'm going to get a little bit more yellow color. I'm going to mix that together. Now look at it. Coming like this, a little bit more blue color, and then coming here, and let it merge together. If you don't have enough water, it won't merge together. It will look dry. Now, I'm going to quickly get the red color with the blue and plus a little yellow color. I'm going to mix the brown color. I'm going to get a little bit more red. Now coming over here, you see that if you did not give enough water into the paint when I do the yellow color, and the color already dry, right? So you can do the technique effectively. So I'm going to come in like this, have a little tip like that. So this is the color. And now coming over here too. And this part of the plans when you are planning your paintings, and I'm going to wait until wet, or I'm going to wait until it dry to do that. I'm going to use a little bit orange color, put over here a little bit lighter, like that over here. Now at this point, I'm going to change to smaller brush because I need to paint it into the smaller areas. So first, and the tip over there, I'm going to get a little bit red coming over here. You see that? This area, maybe a little bit more red. Put a little red in here, like that. Look at it. And a little tip. So, a little bit tip. Look at the edge, like that. Now you can use a little smaller brush, a little bit sharper, like that. It will make it look more realistic. Now I'm going to mix it much darker colors. So now just the red color and the blue colors. Okay, here we go. Like that. Just paint it the edge like that. It's good, right? It's much darker. And also put this dark color. You see that the paint over here, this area is still wet. So this is very important to have it wet, have enough water to support. If there's no water here, and it will look dry, right? Over here a little bit, and over here a little bit darker. And the tip over here, don't really need to be that dark. But I need to have some yellow color. This is a good color. On the edge over here, I'm gonna make the edge like that. I let it merge together. Like that. That's good. That's good. Now I'm gonna take the dark color. I'm gonna tap and put over here and have some of the texture, smaller texture. Something you will wait until it dry before you do it. And now I'm gonna come back to do, oh no, let's do a little more over here because I can see that there is a little bit warmer color on this side. So I'm gonna take a little bit. And by the way, when you're painting from a reference, you don't have to exactly do what the reference look like. You can change it, modify it if you feeling that could be even better, right? Now coming down to the bottom over here, now I'm gonna take this color first, and before it getting dry, and now coming a little bit connected into here. That's good. Now I'm gonna look at the shape. Just draw a line to see how thick is it, and a little bit thicker the bottom over here, and it end. Let's take a look. And I think I actually going to make the tip over here a little bit more green color. So add a little blue, and that's fine. Now the leaves are almost there. Now a couple of things we need to do really quickly. One, I'm going to lift up a little color over here because it should be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to lift up the color. Just use to put a little water in here and just lift up the color. It's very simple. Now it looks like a more facing to the light. Just lift up the color. Now it's good. Now the next thing I need to do when it's still wet, I'm going to draw some line for the vein. Okay, so I just use the tip, the back handle. It have a little sharper tip over here from this very small brush. Is actually number 0. So what I'm gonna do, and coming over here, slowly, when you draw the vein, very slowly, okay, look at it, and if you draw too fast, it doesn't look like the vein, okay? And if you want it to be a little bit smaller or lighter, and you would need to lift it up a little bit, and pay attention, look the direction of that, and this side, this one is a little bit lighter and coming all the way in here. And now I have another one. And if the paper already dried, and you cannot do this, okay, basically, and you have to use different technique to do the vein. This is so simple, right? Now coming on here, and pay attention to the left side and the right side veins. And are they actually meeting over here? Are they actually offset a little bit? So you need to pay attention. Like that. Offset a little bit. Like that. Now this is good. Now at this point, it's getting drier, right? Now I can come back to put a little detail to make it look those texture that the stain is a little bit drier. So this is good. I'm going to take this color and like that. I'm going to put a little bit, tap on it like that. Something you need to wait until it dry, even dry totally. Something you want to do it when it's still wet. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit over here next to the line and something even darker and over here and right next to that vein. Okay, over here too. And I'm going to put a little dark line over here. You see that? I'm going to have a little bit warmer line. Is that fun to paint or not? Enjoy it. If you know how to do it and you practice it, and that's how you get better and better. Okay, at the bottom over here, how much water you need to use in the painting in different stages is very important skill that you're feeling more control. And over here, I'm going to put a little bit darker color here when now it's getting drier, because some are softer, some are a little bit. And on the top over there, I need to have a little bit kind of some spot, like so those are small dots over there. And one way you can do it is to cover out the outside and use the toothbrush to splash some texture to it. Or you're going to use like apply some dots. And I already used the toothbrush many times, so in this painting process, I'm just going to manually adding some dot into it. Like I say, you make sure you have them is a little bit random. Okay, maybe a different color. Look at it, and like that. You don't want to have the same space in between at the same size, and it would look like too much of like a unnatural, I would say. Okay, put a few dots over here like that. And I would prefer the toothbrush. In that case, you will need to prepare to get some tissues to mask the outside. Like that. Okay, that's good. Now the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come back here to use number 12 round brush to do the catch the shadow. So it looks like the leaves on top of a white paper or the table, right? So I already have the gray color over here. That's good. And just take a little bit more blue and take this color. That's good. This will be a good color. And think about how dark the color is supposed to be, right? You don't want it to be too dark. I think I need to have a little bit more blue. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna get a little bit more water. Now I think this is already dry, so no worry, all right? So you have the process, plan it so that you don't have to stop. Now I'm gonna do from here. Look at it, and then look and paint. Like that. Look first and paint. Look at what's the whole area. Look at that. Keep coming down over here, coming here, and it looks like keep coming down. Make sure you have enough water. So if not, this area will look a little bit like dry and doesn't look like they are all together as a one shape. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna have a little bit red into here. It's good, like that. I'm gonna have a little bit water. I'm gonna even have a little bit yellow because the color can coming from the leaf and then merge into the shadow. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Now connect it. I decided to make this a little bit out over here, so connect that together like that. And I don't like the straight line over here, so I'm gonna actually break it a little bit, have a little bit more round. And coming up here, let's take a look. I think it's pretty good. Catch the shadow. And here it's probably a little bit too sharp, a little bit too dark. So it's just gonna lift up a little bit when it's still wet.